Last few days, what are you guys gonna do? You got a month. Okay. How about you, Tava? Hey, I'm jealous, man. I want to go to Hawaii too. That's all. When are you going? August. I'm not sure. Somewhere in August. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. You have relatives out there? Yes. Really? Okay. Good. I'm gonna close this door. Cool, man. Dang, I'd like to go. All right. Well, we're gonna start with. So let's open our books here. So let's open these up. Page 50, or wait, 55, reading comprehension. So let's talk about the collegeable message for reading comprehension here. Okay, good. That's what we want to do. So before we turn the page, I know you guys are ready to read the passage, ready to talk about it and everything. When we read the passage, that means we're asking a few questions to ourselves to figure out the main purpose of the passage. That's the most important thing. When you're done reading that passage, you should know what this passage is about. Secondly, when we do questions, we're not going to jump right into the answer choices. We're going to walk through it, just like what we did with the verbal, where we basically looked back in the passage. This time we're going to look back in the passage. There wasn't a passage for verbal, but we're going to go back to the passage and think about it and then predict an answer based on the passage. Predicting an answer, well, the last one was B, so this one can't be B. Okay, it means more that you have looked at the passage and said, oh, this is probably what the author is talking about. Okay, so let's do that. And then lastly, you find a fit. You find the answer choice that matches what you predicted. Okay, so on the next page, you can see there's a passage. Okay, so you're ready to just jump into the passage and read it. I also want you guys on the page on the right to write notes for each of the paragraphs to give a little summary. Don't write a novel, don't write a lot, just to write a little of the key points of each paragraph, and we'll go over it together. So go ahead and start now. Okay, so we had a lot of time to read and summarize, go over this with you guys, and talk about what you guys wrote down for each thing here. For paragraph 1, Oliver, what did you say was the purpose of paragraph 1? The oldest road, okay, and well preserved. Let's put that up there. Okay, that's correct. Sweet Track is the oldest road and well preserved. Who wants to give me what they wrote for paragraph 2? Isa? Okay. Okay. Okay, I just abbreviated that. So it says how Sweet Track was built, advanced engineering. Okay, who wants to give me paragraph 3? You guys are good at summarizing. Tessa?
Paragraph 3 is about how what materials they use to make the track.
Okay, what they use. Okay, specifically talking about the wood, right? Okay. Okay. Paragraph 4, Jack. Had what? Say that again? What do you mean by what it was used for? Who used the road? I think there's something else we could say besides that for paragraph 3. Someone else want to contribute here, Isa? They were on Snapchat? They're like, hey dude, check this out. Let me take a photo. Selfie of Sweet Track. Organization of the builders. What about the organization? Mm-hmm. Okay, I like all that. What she said right there, they're well organized and it didn't take long to build because they were well organized. So let's put that up there. So it didn't take long, they were well organized. As you guys can see, I'm not even writing this important ideas, okay? Let's go to number 5 here. Who wants to give me number 5? Teva?
In paragraph 5, it tells you about what the track, what it is for the community.
It needs to be more specific than that. Saying what it produced is kind of general there. Oliver? Kind of specifically? Yeah, to the islands, and the islands provided timber, cropland, and pastures, but specifically islands. So it connected the islands. That's correct. Anything else? I'll write that for now. Okay. So connected islands, and then the last paragraph, number 6. Who wants to share their summary for paragraph 6? Oliver? Right on. Good. That's correct. Only one community. All right, that's right. So only one community. So Sweet Track represents the accomplishments of one community. Okay, that's right. Okay, so if we were to give this a big picture, the big idea of this thing, what would be the thesis or the big idea? What would we say? Oliver? Okay. Okay, I like that. So here's your big idea. I abbreviated that, but that's basically what Oliver said, which is the community must have been an advanced one to build Sweet Track. Quite an advanced road. Okay, I like that. Did anybody have a different interpretation of the big idea? Anything else you guys wanted to include besides that? No? I like that. I think overall you guys gave some good ideas for what this passage is about. At the bottom of this page, there's question types. They introduce types of questions regarding this, and they are highlighted. This is true for SSAT and ISEE, and basically for any type of reading comprehension you do, whether it goes on to FAT, ACT, or if you go further past college, you go for the GRE, the GMAT, any of those things, it all falls under this. The question types are, for reading comprehension, are global questions, detail, inference, vocabulary and context, and tone questions. And we're going to go into each of them first. All right, let's talk about this for a second. Global questions are those that deal with the passage as a whole, okay? They don't usually refer to any paragraph number, any line number, or specific word, but the wording on it is very similar to this one right here with question number 6, which says the primary focus of the passage is, okay? In other cases, you'll see things that say, what is the primary purpose? I would write this down, so the type of wording that they use. The primary purpose, the main idea. They won't use big main idea. Okay, those are two of the more common ways of describing it. Okay, and you're basically doing exactly what I added at the very end, right? What picture, the big idea. I like what he wrote here, which was it must have been a advanced community to build Sweet Track. That's pretty good. With that in mind, we're using the technique of having an answer in mind before we look at the answer choices. And you can see our steps right here. First, we read the passage, rewrite. That's kind of what we did in discussing what a global question is and what they're looking for. Now, research this answer. We did that because we discussed it. Oliver gave us an idea and the advanced anyways. Let's Oliver, why don't you read these for us and tell us yes or no for each of them. Just read the answer. I just walked right through the steps. Go ahead and read it. Yes or no? For A, yes or no? Yeah? Okay, who agrees that A is the answer? It sounds similar to what Oliver said about answer. No. You want to say yes or no to each one. Because if you read all of them, you're going to go, I don't know. And then you're going to go, B? Does B sound better than C? I don't know. I like the letter D. Okay? We don't want to do it. Yes or no. When you read that, is that a yes or is that a no? It's similar, however, this says exhibited by earlier cultures with an S. With an S, which means it's talking about, right, this passage is about one culture. That's why I wrote this here, right? Food tracker reflects one community. This answer is wrong. I'm trying to develop in you guys a sense of how to knock out answer choices, because on the ISE, 3 out of 4 are wrong. On the SSAT, 4 out of 5 are wrong, right? So this is wrong. Okay, let's read the second one. B. Lisa, what do you think? Yes? Why? Okay. A little outline that we produced here. We talk about construction materials right around here. We talk a little bit about it in the second paragraph. Second and third talk that the whole passage was written simply to talk about construction and materials. It was more a passage to describe the people who constructed this rather than the materials. So I wouldn't on this. All right, let's go to C. Teva, you want to read that for us?
An explanation for the survival of the sea cap over 6,000 years. No.
Okay, you said no, but there's like a question in the way you said it. Tell us why you said no.
The story about survival.
Right, and survival is only mentioned once in the first paragraph to describe why it had survived for 6,000 years. So survival is not the primary purpose of this passage. Read the last one first. Okay, that's our best answer. Good. That is correct. Some of these answer choices were too narrow. Some of them were too broad, like the one that said cultures, right? That's too broad. Some of them you'll see will be contrary. I didn't say anything that was completely contrary to this one, but bottom line, global questions deal with the passage as a whole. And the wording is what you'll use to catch those. They sometimes deal with tone and style. So let's look at this next question. Isa, read this next one, number 7.
The style of the passage is most like that.
This one we do have to look at the answer choices, but let's have a yes or a no for each one.
Scientific journal.
Okay, so okay.
Novel.
Well, okay. So you liked history book and you liked news editorial. Right.
I mostly
Okay, why history?
talking about the time that is about 1,000 years ago, when it's not science because it's not talking about science.
Right. It's not talking about the scientific type of things. It's not looking at experiments, not looking at hypotheses, um, laws, and theories. That would be more science. Whereas the history textbooks talk about people. They talk about cultures. They talk about things that are their legacies from 6,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, or however long ago. So I would go with the history textbook on this. Anybody know why it's not a newspaper editorial? What is a newspaper editorial like? Can be about current events. It's more of an opinion column. It's more of someone's comments about something. For example, someone might think that you should vote for something. They'll give you reasons why you should vote for it. Or they may believe that this issue is important, and they'll talk about it from their own personal perspective. So it's more opinion in editorial. Let's go to number 8. Let's go to 8, the 10 question here. And let's go with Jacqueline on this one. Yes or no? Okay, good. That's correct. Why objective is correct. Right. Objective gives a neutral position, not totally for, not totally against. Objective is this guy is not saying like, oh, dude, if you haven't seen Sweet Track, I mean, it's off the chain. That he's not saying things like, they're not neutral are going to be ones that, like novels, you're just following a storyline rather than looking at it. Something. Good job on that. All right, let's keep called the question. Detailed questions finding questions. Usually, they refer to a line number. Question is to figure out the meaning of a word or a phrase within the passage, okay? The way that you find one of these questions, sometimes they don't just give you a line number, a paragraph number, or a specific quotation. They sometimes refer to a word. Usually you have to look for that keyword in the question, and then you have to this one right here gives us a line number, so let's have Teva read number 9. What we're looking for in the question. Okay. Tell the reader how it was built. Okay. How it was built. Okay. That's fine. Let's go with that for now. Okay. I don't want you to search forever on it. Let's go to the answer choices and see whether that gives you the answer. Okay. Let's go answer. Oh, Teva, rather than just reading the answers to yourself, let's read and let's say yes or no to them. Okay. Let's go with A. Read that for us. Is that why he talks about construction here? To talk about how strong the structure is? No. Okay, let's go to the next one, B. Okay, tell us why.
In the last 1931, never talked about how in 2008 it was buried underground.
That's good. Right. It wasn't mentioned there in 19 to 31. Good. Next one.
Who had a silver watery no.
Okay. That's right. Okay. The previous one, C, which talks about cooperation, is the next paragraph, which talks about social organization. So it's true but irrelevant. But D is your best answer because they use some advanced technology for their time period. So that's the correct answer. Good. I like that. That's a very good way of answering a detailed question. Let's go to number 10. Oliver, read that one. Okay. Where's woodland management? Don't go straight to the answer choices. I saw your eyes. Okay. Where is woodland management mentioned? You're going too far back. 2 pages. Okay. See, we can't answer it if we don't even know where it is, because if we don't even know where it is, then it's difficult to answer the question. I'll give you a big clue. It's not in column 1. Did you find it? Who found it? Lisa? Read us the part that talks about that.
Furthermore, the quality of the place indicates that the worker is near enough to sell shooting regulated very exotic growth of wildlife methods of harvesting and pasture settlers is known
Okay, so basically, what does this mean in your own words, Lisa, since you found it?
I will command you to trade in a way that isn't fair in the way you want to.
Okay, good. I like that. Does everyone agree this is what they're talking about with woodland management? All right, let's go to the answer choices. Isa, since you found it, why don't you read A through D and tell us yes or no for each of them?
Longer and controlled quality.
Yeah? Controlled quantities. That's not what that is saying right there. That's not. They're not talking about like, oh, dude, let's be like environmentally conscious and like protect the trees because like, you know, we only have a limited supply because we're like the only cavemen on the world right now. But you never know, like a few thousand years they may run out of trees. No. Okay, not quantities. That's my impersonation of Berkeley environmentalists. Okay, next one.
Why is it only among Jesus around species?
They don't even talk about species, right? So that's out. All right.
Cultivating specialized ways for specific purposes. Yeah.
Okay, keep reading to the next one. If you like C, we'll hold on to it.
Spelled as
Kind of. Okay, so you're down to C and D. Let's take a little vote. Who liked C? Who liked D? Okay, only the Berkeley environmentalists like D. So it's like, dude, like, save the trees. Okay. No, I'm making it. Okay, that's true. That's more like SoCal people who sound like that. So Berkeley people were like, we must totally hug the trees. Okay. All right, let's continue here. So let's go to the next type, which is not detailed questions, but rather inference questions. These are challenging. I'm going to say this about inference questions. Inference questions are the only ones where you have to read the answer choices. And sometimes they will refer to a line number or paragraph number, sometimes they won't. But what's challenging about them is that they usually ask the author's opinion about something. The author would most likely agree. This is the type of wording you're going to see. The author would most likely agree with. And you're like, I didn't talk to the author, so how would I know? You got to go back to the passage to find supporting evidence. It'll ask something like, the author would most likely assume. The author would most likely conclude. You can hear just from the language, it's not a very stable sounding question because they're saying would most likely. And since we've never talked to them, we can only infer what the author agrees with. These are tricky questions. They represent a good 1/3 of the questions in reading comprehension. For some of us, it can be challenging. When you're answering these types of inference questions, the things to look out for are answers that are non-topical, things that they've never mentioned. You got to throw those out immediately, okay? Things that have extreme answers. Now, extreme to young people might sound very exaggerated, like, oh my gosh, that totally sucked. That was like, yuck. That was like, I can't stand it, okay? That sounds extreme. But in the academic world, extreme doesn't mean that. They're not going to be loud. They're not going to be emphatic. They're going to be they'll use words like never, always, totally, absolutely, completely. Okay, in the academic world, those words are extreme because it's claiming 100% or 0%, okay? And in the academic world, it's really difficult to claim 100%. Most scientists, when they do things, you know, they study and they have a measurement of error that is possible and not possible. So there's plus and minus to it. They don't usually say 100%, 0%. There's always an exception that they can find. So they rarely use a word like always or never or totally. So look out for that because that's something that you can knock out immediately. Another very common thing for inference questions is it might be an answer choice might be half right, half wrong. You're reading it and you're like, man, this is totally straight out of the passage. And you keep reading it and you're like, well, I don't know what that second part is, but you know what? It sounds like it's totally straight out of the passage, even though it's half wrong. Well, if it's half wrong, it's totally wrong. Okay? So you got to knock those out. So another very common one is something that's true but irrelevant. I mentioned that earlier with some of the answer choices that I think Teva was reading this, but there are some answer choices you see it and you're like, yeah, but that's from another paragraph. If they're not referring to that paragraph, it's true but irrelevant. Okay, these things pop up very much in an inference question, and they're very tempting because we're looking at something that's possibly an assumption or a conclusion that the author might agree with. Okay, let's keep going with this one. I don't know who I had read this. Was this Jacqueline reading this? Or I don't know who read this. Okay, you read it then. Okay. Yes or no? Okay, tell us why. Correct. See how this is extreme? It used the word all. Okay? That means 100%. You guys see that? Okay, next one. See? Right. They had other skills like how to build it, how to manage people and organize a project, right? Notice the extreme word only. What does only mean? It means just one. Okay. Next one, Jacqueline. Okay. We already know they're not from Berkeley, so okay, next one. That's right. That's our best answer. Okay. So you guys can see here how an inference question, you have to have reasonable doubt against answer choices so you can knock them out. And then only one of them is going to fit where you're not doubting it. Okay. Let's go to the next type of question here, which is called vocab and context. They come in a few different forms. The one that we have right here for number 12, they give us a phrase in quotes. This phrase is acidic, right? Or this word. They give us a line number. Sometimes they give us definitions for them, for what they are about, or they give us possible synonyms. The other form of this is one-word answers. And when you see the one-word answers for vocab and context, don't just go straight to the answers, because it's a contextual synonym, which means it's only similar based on the context, but in everyday use, they're not similar to each other. So you got to plug them back into one of the one-word answers. Issa, you want to read the source? Why don't you go back to the passage instead of reading the answer choices straight? That's kind of our technique. We go back to line 19, or line 9 on this one. Okay, what does the passage tell us about acidic peat bog?
That it helps.
Helps in what way?
Kept the wood moist.
Okay, kept the wood moist. And as a result of the wood being moist, what happened? Stayed strong? Just kind of strong? It's like, hey man, it's easy to walk on it. Really strong? Someone, can you add on to that? The wood stayed strong. Just a little bit? A lot? Jacqueline, how strong was it? Yeah. So it lasted 6,000 years. It protected it for 6,000 years. It's a big deal. Okay? Let's go down the answer choices and go with yes and no here. Let's go with number 1. Why?
Because it doesn't talk about modern pollution.
Correct. Never mentioned modern pollution. Good. Let's go to the next one.
And to say recap is non-corrosive material.
Okay, that's correct. Why? Again, never mentioned. You guys seen that? All right, next one.
This syndrome is the effects of acidic and basic conditions on ancient growing. Yes.
Do they talk about effects of basic conditions versus acidic conditions? That's what answer C is saying.
No.
Ancient ruins is they're only talking about sweet track. If they're talking about ruins, plural, they're talking about several different types of ancient ruins. And I wouldn't say that it's C.
No.
Let's go with D.
It's not acidic and what was
Inhibiting decay, yes. So the acidic conditions prevented, that is entirely why sweet track survived. And that is our best answer there. Okay? Good. Good job, everyone. What I want to do is take a little break here. If you need to, you can do that. Let's get back into the lesson, and we're going to go into the vocabulary building exercise. Let's start with this. We have a word here that is interesting. It's the word incandescent. Does anybody know the definition of incandescent? If you do, don't say it. I just want to know if anybody knows the word incandescent. Anyone? Okay. So you guys have heard the word before. Well, there are a few ways that you can figure out what a word means if you're kind of familiar with it and you're kind of like, I think I know what this is. One of it is one way is to think of the phonetic sound of it and what it sounds like. It could sound like another word that you're familiar with. Another way is to identify parts. Is it an adjective, an adverb? Is it a noun or a preposition? What type of word is incandescent in terms of parts of speech? What would you guys say? It's an adjective, correct. All right. How about, well, if you knew the definition, obviously you would know it right there. In terms of prefixes, roots, and suffixes, this is a good way to break down a word and identify what it means, okay? Which is what we're going to do. Also, word charge, whether it sounds positive, negative, or neutral. And lastly, if you've seen it and can affiliate it with other words, identify what word group it falls under, okay? So let's break down this word. What would be the prefix of this word? What's the prefix here? Oliver? Yeah, I would go with in on this one. There's your prefix. So in, what about the root? What would be the root here? That would be closer to the end of the word. I wouldn't call that the root. Anybody else want to guess the root here? That's more the end of the word. Canned, C-A-N or C-A-N-D? D. Okay. Okay, what is the meaning of in, since this is our prefix here? Jacqueline, what would you say? Could be inside. Okay. I like that. Inside is a good meaning for in. Any others? Let's stick with this for now. You got that. That was a good one. How about canned? Is there anything that we can affiliate it to? Any words that sound like that? Root? Candy? Closed up. Canned would not be the same. What are some other words that you could use that have the similar root? Candle. Okay. Oh, let's make a list here. Candle. Any others? Can. Any others? I would spin off a candor. That's actually a good one. Candid? You guys know what candid means? I'll put it in here. All right. Candied is a little, it is. Yeah, I'm trying to stick with the stronger words that I mentioned earlier. Candied is starting to talk about sweets, and these two are pretty strong already. Okay. What about essence? What is essence? What does it mean? The what? Not necessarily. Okay. Okay. What else? Jacqueline, any thoughts on that? Yeah, essence, right? I like that. I think you're thinking scent, but yeah, but I think they're talking more essence, essential, something that's part of it. Inside, candid, candor, or candle, and essence. What do you guys? Where have you heard the word incandescent before? Where have you guys heard this before? If you go to Home Depot and you buy some lights, they may have incandescent lights. So what do you guys think that means? Right? Yeah. You're getting on the right path. I would say that light that comes from within, the inside, that's what the in is, incandescent light. Okay. So have that much time to break down a word on a test. But what you're doing here is you're building the skills that when you're taking a test or just reading a book or doing anything of the sort, and you see an unfamiliar word, to find out the meaning of it. Okay? That's good. Let's do this next part, which is called learning by roots. And what I want to do here is this. You'll see some common words like quest, question, and query. Okay? And I think you guys know what these words mean. And given that, what do you guys think that the root quest, query, quiz, and queer mean? What do you guys think it means? Oliver? Question. I like that. To question something. Yeah, that's good. Anybody else? Basically, to question, to ask. That's what I would say for that. So let's write that right next to the root. In quest means. Okay. To search for. I like that. Okay. What do you think inquire means? Teva, what do you think? Inquire. Oliver? Into. You're thinking acquire with ACQ, but that's a different one. Okay. I don't know if it's assuming anything. Jacqueline? To ask, right? If you see something like job available, inquire within, you know, come in and inquire about the job or something like that. That would be an example of that. Okay, let's go to the next one. Subscribe, manuscript. The roots here are scribe and script. What do you guys think that means? Right, so that people write. Okay, good. So obviously it has to do with writing. Scribe and scrib and script. They're all dealing with writing, okay? So if you're to look at the next two words, what do you guys presume the meanings of circumscribe and proscribe are? Jacqueline, what do you think the first one is, circumscribe? Not sure. Okay. Let's just break it down. The first part of the word is circum. The second part is scribe. We already said scribe is writing. What is circum? Where have we seen that in other contexts? Jacqueline? Circumstance. Okay. What else? The circumstance help you. That's what I should be asking. Does it help you? Is there another context that may help us with what circum means? Circumference. What does that mean? Right, around. So circumscribe means to write in a circle. That's what it means. Okay? So that's how we break down words and do that. Okay? What about proscribe? What do you think this is? This one's actually not as obvious. Oliver? You're thinking prescribe with an E, prescribe, prescribe. That's more like a, doctor prescribes medicine. Proscribe, I'm just going to give it to you because it's not easy to figure out. It means prohibit or forbid. Okay? Okay, let's go to the next one. Verdict and verify. What's the ver? To see in Spanish, that's true. Okay? That's true. To see. Let's use that for now, if it helps you. Okay? What do you guys think verisimilitude and verity are? What about verisimilitude? Jacqueline? Close. Yeah. So if we use to see, it would mean similar to what you see. But I want to give you the real meaning of the there. I know in Spanish that's what it means to see. In the Latin roots that they're using with this, it has more to do with truth. The word, the truth in Latin is veritas. That's the original word. That's on the logo of the Harvard emblem. It says veritas, the truth. Okay. Verisimilitude is similar to the truth. Okay. And then verity. What do you guys think verity is now? Less with severity, but degree of truth. Like, for example, if you said this water 9%, so its purity is 99%. Whereas that water has been reused through, industrial things and repurified. It's only 50% pure, so its purity is only 50%. So verity is the degree of truth. So it's only about 50. If you had a lie detector test and you went down through the thing, well, it shows this is only, the verity of this testimony is only about 60%. That's kind of what they're doing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what that was. Different degrees. Yeah, different degrees. Okay, let's keep moving here. Let's turn to the next page here. And let's talk about learning words through prefixes. What I want us to do for a minute is go ahead and do this, coming up with your own meanings based on the example words, and we're going to go through these together. So go ahead and do that for a minute or two, okay? Okay, let's get back into this exercise here. Let's talk about learning words through prefixes. Let's start with Oliver. What did you say for pro? Means good? Anybody else have a definition for pro? No? Jacqueline, what did you say for pro? You said good? Anything? Issa, what did you say? Nothing? Teva? More? It actually means for. When you're promoting something, you are for that thing. Have you ever heard the pros and the cons? The for, the things that are for, the things that are against. Are you for this thing? Oh yeah, I'm pro bill number whatever, whatever. I'm anti that. I'm con, whatever. So, okay, what's post? Teva. What is post? In basketball, there's low post, but that's something else. Okay, Oliver, what is it? Post means after. If you're writing a letter, they gave us the example of a postscript. That's writing PS on your letter. Like, oh, dude, I forgot. So PS, something, 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 right? That's the postscript after the letter. Okay, let's go with pre. I think you know this one, Jacqueline. Okay, what's ill, Issa? Yeah. So it's not. Ill means not. Okay. What's im, Oliver? Okay. What's that, Issa? Opposite. Yeah. Opposite works there. Okay. Or it also means no. Okay. What about inter? Issa. I mean not Issa. I mean Teva. Teva. What's inter? In between, like a road. Okay, it's between. All right, I like that. How about non? That's pretty obvious, Jacqueline. Yeah, it's no or not. What's re, Issa? Yeah, it's again. Yeah, something that happens again. What about un? Yeah, it means not or the opposite. Okay. Okay, what about miss, Jacqueline? Yeah, so it means something that's wrong. Like mistake is wrong. Misapprehend is to get the wrong, is to apprehend the wrong person. Okay. Yeah. It's more of it's something that is wrong, that is off. Okay. Let's do this again with suffixes on this next page. Spend a minute or two writing in your meetings. We'll go over them together. All right, so let's talk about suffixes here. Let's start over here with Isa. What is ology? Huh? Don't know. Okay, Oliver. The study of biology, psychology, numerology. The study of psychology is study of the mind. Numerology, study of numbers. Okay, what about the next one? Full. Peva, what is that? Okay, to be full of cheer, to be full of bash. I don't know what bash is, but bashful is to be shy. Okay, let's go with able and ibble. Jacqueline, what is that? Yeah, capable, right? That's why I came up with the name collegeable, college eligible, able to go to college. Okay. What about and or, Isa? And or. Yeah, it's a person who does. An organizer organizes, right? An inspector inspects, so it's a person who does. Okay, let's go with Oliver. Less, what is less? Right, without. That's correct. What about Ness? Seva? Yeah, it's a characteristic. Happiness, or it's a state of it. Yeah, sadness. Okay. What about Lee, Jacqueline? Lee, okay. Isa, what would you say for Lee? It's how something is done. Slowly is done slow, right? Sadly is done sad, or it's just how something is experienced, right? Okay, let's go to the next one. Oliver, what's OUS? Us. Okay, Teva, what's OUS? Us. Jacqueline. Isa. It's a characteristic. A bulbous shape is shaped like a bulb. Miraculous, it seemed like a miracle. Okay. What's shun? What is shun? Oliver? Yeah. It's a state of something. Appreciation is a state of appreciating. Rejection is a state of rejected, right? What is ism, Teva? Okay. It's a belief in. So Protestantism is a form of, it's actually Christianity, non-Catholic Christianity. That's what that is. Heroism is more just heroes, being heroic. But you'll see it in Judaism, you'll see it in Buddhism, Hinduism, a lot of other isms out there. Okay, good job. Let's keep going here, and let's talk about the next part here. Let's talk about word charge. We have a word in the question. Some of us may know this one right off the bat, but Teva, what is callous? Don't look at the answer choices. Just tell me what that is. Okay. Jacqueline, callous? Isa? Okay, a bunch of skin that's on your hand. Okay. Right, because of friction rubbing against something. If you did monkey bars, you build calluses. That's good. Oliver? What is a callous mistake? Yeah, it's a more secondary use of it. Let's go back to what Isa said about on your skin when it gets tough. What happens to your skin when it gets tough? Less sensitive. That's what callous really means. Less sensitive. So if that's the case, our best answer is B, right? Insensitive. If you said someone made a callous remark and was very like harsh to somebody, That's a callous remark when they're harsh. It's insensitive, okay? Callous as a word, as a noun, it could be neutral. Because some people want callous. Guys sometimes want calluses, like if they lift weight, so they don't rip their skin when they're holding up a lot of weight. Whereas callous as an adjective is typically negative. So when it comes to word charge, a word may have more than one charge to it. I have not heard callous as positive. It's probably not going to happen. But what you're going to see for a lot of words is that they could be positive, negative, and neutral. Let's just walk through these and just see how you guys would do this. The first word, ingenuity. Teva, is that positive, negative, or neutral? It can be more than one. Ingenuity.
Neutral.
Neutral? Jacqueline, what do you think?
Positive.
Positive? What does it mean? Innovative, right. When someone came up with a solution, that's like a product of ingenuity, okay? So it's positive. All right, let's go to the next one. Astute, what is that one, Isa? Neutral? I wouldn't say negative. Well, of course, since I said it wasn't negative, but I'll use it in a sentence. If you said, after many years of researching, this person was very astute in the theories of physics, okay? So he was very knowledgeable, and he was the expert in physics. He was astute with physics, okay? Befuddled, what do you think, Teva? Just go by what it sounds like, yeah. Negative? Yeah, do you know what it means?
Like confused.
Confused, yeah, befuddled, good. How about the next one, Oliver? What's obtuse? It's neutral. In math, it is. In math, it means what? Larger than 90 degrees. But if you were to call somebody obtuse, is it what? It doesn't mean that they're big. If you say, oh my gosh, that guy is like so obtuse, when he tries to dance, he looks like a bear or something like that. He looks clumsy like a bear, right? So it's not a positive word to say someone is an obtuse dancer. That's an adjective, not a noun. As a geometric angle, it's a noun. Or no, it's actually still an adjective, obtuse angle, right? So, but that's neutral. But if you're just using it to describe a person, it's kind of an insulting thing to say. You know, he's got two left feet. Okay, vacuous. What would we say here, Jacqueline? Vacuous. Okay, what is it? What's the root of it? Does it sound like something? I'm using all the techniques here. It sounds like a vacuum, right? I'll use it in a sentence. Some people's space is a vacuous place with nothing there. Empty, okay? It's actually not empty. There's a lot of asteroids out there, but for the most part, people would think it's empty in outer space. Okay, good. Let's go with the next one. Profound. What is that, Isa?
Profound.
Neutral? Is it neutral? Oliver. Say that again. You wouldn't be surprised by something if you were profound. I'll give you an example. Jacqueline. Deep. Okay. Yeah. He shared some profound ideas that inspired us. Right. So significant. Something that was. It could be deep. It could be something. It's usually used to talk about something significant. Right. If you said when their best player was on the team, he made a profound difference in their scoring. Okay, so it's significant. Okay, all right. Addle, who knows what addle is? Isa, do you know this one? Okay, anybody else know addle? Addle. Addle may not be a familiar word, similar to something that is confusing or to make confusing. It's a verb to say that he addled us with his long description and we were confused because it was too long and wordy, okay? So it's to confuse, okay? Let's go to the next one, competent. Teva, what is competent? Positive, negative, or neutral? It's positive. If you say, oh, he's very competent in algebra, he's studied it and got all A's, that means he's pretty strong in it, right? So that would be an example of that. Penetrate, Jacqueline, positive, negative, or neutral?
Neutral.
It can be neutral or it can be negative, okay? Neutral because if you say something like, we wanted to, in playing our sport, we wanted to penetrate the defense on the other team. It can be positive or neutral there, but if you say, oh no, the other team penetrated our defense, then it's negative, right? You don't want that to happen, right? Acute. What is that one, Oliver? Smaller than 90, so that would be, it's a negative word and it can be neutral. In math, it's neutral. Just saying it's less than 90. Yeah, it's just neutral. But as a word, as an adjective in regular language, it is negative. Can someone use it in an example to show that one? I'll give you an example. When he fell down, twisted his ankle, he felt acute pain. Very sharp pain, okay? So it's negative, okay? The exercise from 2 to 11, I'll let you guys do that on your own now that we've talked about all these words. They're definitions, and you use these words to fill them in, so you can do that on your own. I want to turn to the next page. If we have time, we'll do that one, but I want to get through all of this stuff first because we're near the end of this lesson, which is pretty cool. So let's talk about word groups. Teva, what is ingenious?
Very smart.
Can be smart. This is similar to another word we talked about maybe like less than 5 minutes ago. Ingenuity, right? Do you remember ingenuity? What was ingenuity? Jacqueline gave us a synonym for it. Does anybody else remember it? Lisa, what is ingenuity? Creative. Right. So someone who's ingenious has that characteristic of being creative, right? So our best answer here is what? What do you guys think? Inspired. Someone who's creative, has inspiration for new things, and they're able to, think. So inspired is our best one right there. Sometimes when you know another word that sounds like it, you can affiliate them together. Ingenious, ingenuity, right? So this helps us because instead of sitting there and trying to memorize words out of a dictionary, it's not like we have some kind of SD card you slide in the back of your neck and you're like, oh cool, I've memorized the entire dictionary just like that. I wish we could, because then we get 100% on all the verbal questions, right? But it's not that easy, obviously. So on this page right here, we have learning words in groups, and they have two lists here, one for clever words and one for foolish words. And you can see how they categorized a lot of the words that we were talking about. Some of them you know. Some of them you may be familiar with, like astute. Some of them you might know, like ingenious, right? Or intuitive, or inspired, or exemplary. Some of them we may not know. Foolish. In the list for foolish, we have drivel, inane, prattle, preposterous. Some of these we know, some of them we don't. But when you group words together, you know it affiliates with foolish or clever, okay? Let's go to 13. Oliver, number 13. Read that for us.
Those with text letters meaning and conditional means somewhat in a
strategist is right. What was the clues in this sentence that told you king?
He said it became apparent later in the game she was actually quite. So she said that she was actually pretty good.
Right. Initially inept. Was inept. Not very skillful. But now we know she is, so she's keen. It's the opposite. Good. Good note. You noticed the clues really well. Okay, let's go with number 14. Jacqueline, do you know this word, drivel?
No.
It is C, because we looked at our list of word groups and we're like, oh, drivel falls under foolish. So prattle does too. Bam. They're probably synonyms, okay? That makes it a lot easier. And one, people ask me, should I memorize the dictionary? I would say no, memorize the thesaurus. Because the thesaurus is going to affiliate words. It will broaden your vocabulary much faster. I'm not going to say sit there and memorize, but I'm saying a thesaurus is a good tool, okay? We do have time here. So what I want to do here is this, because we're at the end of this in terms of the lesson. I want to mention the homework starting on this page here. And let's do that.